beautiful people of the Congress of the People. Political leader and Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, our host constituency tonight, Mr. Prakash Ramada. Members of the head table, members of the COP family, and particularly members of the COP Youth Posse and the COP Women's Posse. Let me hear some noise from you. I bring greetings to this massive crowd in St. Augustine on behalf of my party, your partner in government, the United National Congress. And I don't know how many people outside of St. Augustine know, but certainly I see many faces here. In 2010, I was a UNC nominee for the seat of St. Augustine, the constituency of St. Augustine. And when we were informed that based on our arrangement with the partnership, that we will have a COP candidate, we did not yet know who it was. Many of our COP friends were waiting for word on who the candidate will be. And many of our UNC supporters were disappointed that they would not have a UNC candidate. And I recall having several meetings with our UNC supporters, preparing them to embrace whoever our candidate would be. And in 2010, when Prakash Ramada became our candidate, I walked every day in the electoral district that I represented with him. And we walked side by side, and he wore his COP jersey every day, and I wore my UNC jersey every day. And we walked side by side as partners in a partnership because we know the importance of putting country before self. And not everyone who puts themselves forward to serve, come forward to serve the people of Trinidad and Tobago. There are people who come into politics to serve themselves. And we must be wary. And as time goes by, and as the people of Trinidad and Tobago expect better and better representation, political parties in our country will be forced to ensure that the representation provided is of a higher and higher standard. And our brothers and sisters in the Congress of the People continue to work with us everywhere in Trinidad and Tobago. When I come here in St. Augustine, I see faces of a family in St. Augustine who I've worked with. And that is on a personal level. But at the national level, I know that our partners in the COP have remained committed to government, have remained committed to the partnership, and have taken this government and this country forward by leaps and bounds. Tonight, I want to take the opportunity to commend your political leader, Mr. Prakash Ramada, for remaining a gentleman, for remaining a diplomatic human being, for remaining a person who represents the interests of others and remembers the principles that he came into politics for. And all it happened, but there are people within the COP who have publicly expressed at times their dissatisfaction with the way he operates. But I want to remind you again that we cannot do it alone. In 2007, we fought as separate political parties. I worked very closely with our UNC candidate, and your political leader at that time, your founding leader, was the candidate in St. Augustine. And the UNC won by a very narrow victory. And it was the closest that the COP came to winning any seats. But it is important for any political party who contests the election to also have a voice in Parliament and a voice in government. And if you really mean what you say to the people you ask to support you, then you will remember to keep those things above your own interest. And while at times, even within a marriage, because our partnership is like a marriage, even within a marriage, there are times when you compromise, there are times when you have give and take, but you remain individuals. And within the partnership, the political parties have maintained their individuality. And I want to commend the COP for always retaining its individuality, for standing up for what it believes in. But I also want to remind you as members that it is important to have one voice to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, one voice when you speak on behalf of those you elect to represent you at the leadership level, because there's no way we can win divided. I have served in local government, and I felt so proud to hear young Anita presenting her achievements. And I can tell you, the state this country was in before 2010, every part of Trinidad and Tobago you go to now, you see massive development. Notice I did not say the partnership constituencies. Development has taken place throughout Trinidad and Tobago in all spheres, in all aspects, in infrastructural development, in healthcare, in social services. The question to every person here tonight, and every person listening throughout Trinidad and Tobago, do you want the PNM to return? No. Do you want the abuse and neglect of the PNM? No. Do you want the leadership of Keith Rowley at the helm of our country? The answer is no. So we must unite beyond our personal interests to ensure that the People's Partnership returns to government in 2015. The journey must continue. When we look at the development we have seen in this country over the last 5 years, we know that it is impossible to reverse the neglect of 40 years in only one term. And so, even those who feel that they can't take the jamming, we must take the responsibility and carry on their behalf. We owe it to the people we ask to vote for us and to support us. And we must present a government and present political parties that would encourage people who do not even traditionally involve themselves in politics to become involved. I want to thank you for this opportunity to bring greetings. I want to thank you for your continued dedication to working with the People's Partnership. On behalf of our political leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, I look forward to us continuing and going back into government after general election 2015.